let me begin by saying this was truly a horrific act of violence that took place here today. On behalf of our entire city, all of our thoughts and prayers, all San Diegans' thoughts and prayers are with the victims and their families tonight. I can't say enough about the emergency response and our first responders who provided aid and care, not only here on site a few hours ago, but those that are providing that care right now in the hospitals, how much that means. I also can't say enough about our officers who responded on site today, whose professionalism, whose quick action clearly avoided further bloodshed. We stand united as a city to reject this senseless violence, and I'll turn it over to the Chief to give us an update on more specifics.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, on behalf of all of us, our thoughts and prayers, our heart goes out to all the victims, their families, and to anyone that was here and witnessed this and was affected by this. Let me go back and give you a little more information on the call and then update you on the status of the investigation and the victims. Shortly after 6 p.m. this evening, our communications division received numerous calls regarding several people that had been shot here in the pool area here on Judicial Drive. Our helicopter arrived on scene and saw that there were numerous victims in the pool area. It's our information that there was a large pool party. Somebody was having a birthday party, and there was many people that were attending that birthday party in the pool area. Our helicopter, the pilots saw that there was numerous victims and that the suspect was still in the pool area and was armed with a handgun. The first 3 officers arrived pretty much at the same time, and our helicopter unit had put out that the suspect was reloading and that was shooting again into the party goers for this pool party. The sergeant and 2 officers went to the pool area, confronted the suspect who was still armed, and an officer-involved shooting took place. The suspect was shot by the officers, and the suspect is deceased at the scene. There were 8 victims that were transported, and we had 4 of the victims were African-American females who were suffering from gunshot wounds that were taken to area hospitals. 2 African-American males were taken to an area hospital suffering from gunshot wounds. 1 Hispanic male suffering from a gunshot wound taken to an area hospital. And then 1 African-American male fleeing the area broke his arm when he was fleeing the gunfire. It is with extremely sad heart that we report that one of the females has passed away. We have confirmed the suspect, and I'm going to release the suspect's name right now. The suspect has been identified as a Peter Selis, that's S-E-L-I-S, date of birth of 9/20 of 1967. That's the information that we have right now. As you can imagine, there's a lot of work to be done. We're still in the preliminary stages of the investigation. We have a lot of witnesses to interview. Also, we have not had an opportunity yet to speak with our 3 officers at length who were involved in the officer-involved shootings, and so a lot more work has to be done. We believe that at least one of the partygoers for the birthday party does live in this complex, and also we believe that the suspect also lives in the complex.
Chief, are you looking at this as a possible hate crime?
We are interviewing witnesses, and at this point we don't know what the motive is for this shooting at this point. What we plan to do is throughout the night, a lot of people to interview, a lot of the victims, and several of them are still in surgery. A couple of them are still critical. So what we plan to do is when we're able is to interview all the witnesses, to interview the victims, to find out that information, to find out what the motive was for this.
Chief, what is the time span difference between When the shots were reported and your officer arriving on scene, the very first officer, what was the time gap?
I'd have to go to get the exact time for that. I believe, off the top of my head, without having the exact in front of me, about 5 or 6 minutes.
And did this say that the helicopter was here before the first officers were on scene?
Yes, the helicopter arrived first, and then after that, the ground units arrived. The helicopter was able to direct the ground units as to exactly where the suspect was in the pool area.
What kind of gun was it?
It was a large caliber handgun.
Chief, do you know if the suspect, Mr. Selis, lived here, and if you knew any of the suspects, or is this totally random?
We have information that we do believe that he does live in the complex. We do not know at this time if he knew any of the victims.
But he does live here at the complex.
We believe that he does live here at the complex.
Chief, we spoke to one witness who says he heard about 30 gunshots. Does that line up with what you guys see out there at the scene, or what you've heard or found?
The investigation will determine how many gunshots there were, but there was numerous gunfire, numerous gunshots.
Was the gun his, and if so, how long has he had it?
We don't have information on that as of yet.
Was there more ammunition?
All the victims are adults.
Was more ammunition found on the suspect?
At this point, I don't have that information. The investigation will determine all of that.
Chief, have we gone into his apartment at this point to begin a search yet, or no?
We will be doing that. We have not been able to do that at this point.
Did the suspect say anything to either officers or witnesses?
The investigation will determine that, and that's why we have to, again, not just talk with our officers, but talk with the witnesses and also talk with the victims.
Did the suspect live with anybody else?
I have no information on that at this time.
How many people total were at this party or in the pool area when this happened?
The witnesses are saying it was a large pool party and there was other people that were there. So many people, I don't have the exact number, but many people were there.
Chief, your northern division is right here, up another exit up ahead. Did the sergeant and officer respond from the station, or were they on patrol when they responded to the scene?
I don't know the exact area where they responded from, but not all the officers that arrived on scene were from northern divisions.
Did the suspect fire at the officers?
The investigation will determine that, but preliminary information is that there was an exchange of gunfire between the suspect and our officers, but the investigation will determine that.
Have you been able to confirm if the suspect continued to have a beer in his hand while firing the gun?
I have not been able to confirm that at this point. The investigation will be able to determine all of those facts.
But how do you know his name?
We've been able to positively identify him, and that's why we put that information out.
Is there any surveillance video from that area that you guys are looking into?
We're going to look for any video that anybody has, and that's you bring up a good point. If anybody has or has taken any video, we'd like them to contact us. Also, what we're asking, as you can see, it's a very large apartment complex out here, and if anyone has any information, no matter how minor or slight you think that is, we want you to please contact our police department.
Put other cameras in the pool area that you know of?
I'm not aware of any cameras, but the investigation will determine that.
Are you familiar at all with this suspect?
I'm sorry?
Familiar with this suspect and his criminal history?
I don't have any information on the criminal history of the suspect.
Do we
Okay.
know how long he was at that party before the shooting began?
I don't.
Not at the party, but at the scene.
I don't have that information. What I've been told is from some of the witnesses is that he entered and fired into the crowd. But the investigation will determine that. What we're going to do is that I know you still have a lot of questions. Obviously, we have questions as why we work through the investigation. We're going to be out here throughout the night, I'm sure long into tomorrow. And so we will update you again tomorrow as we get more information to provide some of these answers that you're asking for. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.